What's up, guys? My name is Archon, and I am a part of the A&A Soccer Show, where we will bring to you guys BPL news, BPL reviews, predictions, everything that has to do with the BPL. Now, you guys are probably thinking, A&A, you're Archon, that's just 1A. Well, I have my friend Alex, who will be joining us later on in a couple weeks, currently on vacation to Puerto Rico, a beautiful island over there, and he'll be back around the 23rd-ish. So we're gonna try getting some videos in when he comes back. But for now, it's just gonna be me, myself, and I. Shout out to Jeezy. But so yeah, basically we're gonna be talking everything about BPL. We're big BPL lovers. We love the BPL. We think it's the most competitive league in the world, considering we have a team, Leicester, winning the league when no one even knew who they were. But now everyone knows who they are, and everyone knows the players in there, like Vardy, Mars. There's young players and just gems that can be found even in other leagues. Don't get me wrong, but the BPL, you're gonna find these teams that are gonna fight for just what they want to fight. Every team wants to win the title, and every team now thinks they can have a chance to win the title. So that's why we love the BPL. Now, inside the BPL, you guys are probably thinking, oh, you guys are probably United fans, Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans. We are Manchester City fans, actually. Yes, no matter how much crap we take in and every single week with the amount of money we spend, oil money and all that, we love Manchester City. We've been Manchester City fans for a while now. We will never change our clubs, no matter how much bad or how bad we do or what happens in it. We will love every player in the club, even how bad Jesus Navas is. We still have some respect for him, but on to going on to the other stuff. So yeah, basically for now, we're going to be talking about BPL transfers. We're going to be talking about what we think what's going on in the BPL, what's going to affect the BPL long term. In my opinion, we are about to go into one of the most competitive BPL seasons we've ever seen in a while. We have new manager Klopp going to be managing for a whole year now. We have Lord and Savior Pep Guardiola coming to Manchester City. We have Jose Mourinho going to Manchester United. We have in the Ranieri, sorry if I butchered his name, still managing Leicester and everything. We have all these big managers just changing up clubs. Now Mourinho's been at Chelsea, but this is United. Even though how much I hate United, I have my respect for United. In this, obviously, the signings will do what we will go on to the later on the video. So now we're going to be talking about some transfers that's been going on. We're going to break down from some teams that I think are going to challenge for the title. Some teams I think we're just going to talk about those teams for right now. But later on, we will talk about, in my next episode, I'll break down smaller clubs like Crystal Palace and West Ham and all that, those type of teams. And then in the future, once the BPL season starts to come up and Alex gets into the mix, we're going to be predicting the score lines and all that. We're going to be predicting every game. We're going to give our specific predictions of what we think is going to actually happen during the match weeks. And then we're going to give our reviews and all that. And then when Champions League come around, we're going to give our prediction reviews for Champions League. But those are the only two. We're not going to quite get into German League, Italian League, French League, Spanish League yet. But for now, BPL and Champions League is what we'll be talking about. Now, moving on to some transfers that happened. It's only been about, how long? It's been about 7 days now, 6 days now, since transfer window opened. We've already had some big signings. First big signing we'll be talking about is Manchester United. Biggest signing so far to some people in the year, Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the god himself, has moved to Manchester United. Everyone's saying RIP the league. In my opinion, I don't think so. I don't think he's going to do quite good he did in the French. Don't get me wrong, he scored 53 goals in the French league last season, which was an improvement from about 33 goalish. But I think compared to the BPL, the French league defense aren't as good. I mean, they have good young talent in the French league, but the BPL, you have Manchester City defenses coming up with Otamendi, Mangala. Well, not Mangala, get that wrong. He's not really that good. Otamendi, Company, you have those kind of pairings. Go to Chelsea, you have Gary Cahill and Zuma pairing. Go to Arsenal, Koscielny, Mertesacker pairing. You have all these elite defenses in the BPL that could potentially shut down Zlatan, but it's soccer. You can't really tell what's going on. But other news going on to Manchester United is Brian Mkhitaryan moving in from Dortmund, the right mid Armenian coming in. Forgot not really quite sure about the transfer fee because they haven't really released that yet. But I feel like that this Armenian's gonna bring in a lot of talent to a Manchester United group, and depending on Juan Mata's future, could even have Depay challenging for his spot. You never know, which I believe Mata will be leaving, which we'll talk about later in this video. And then Eric Bailey coming in for the defense, which I don't think is a good idea. I don't think he's gonna make a difference. It's gonna be like Marcos Rojo, who just goes in. Everyone's like, oh, okay, he's pretty decent. He's gonna do decent, but not really gonna stand out. Now moving into the next team, we're gonna go and talk about Arsenal with their first signing, the Swiss midfielder Xhaka, who surprised not really that many people. Everyone predicted Xhaka will be going to Arsenal, but I feel like he brings a lot to the table for Arsenal. He goes box to box midfielder, played great in the Euros for Switzerland, and I feel like that he just like El Mandi, I believe Arsenal brought in January. He's a great box to box midfielder who will run up and down the field. Not quite that fast, but he will be there winning the midfield and being a big presence for Arsenal. And also another signing, the Japanese Aseno, I believe. Not really know much about him, but off of just reading some of the stuff that he's been about, I feel like he brings a lot of talent also to Arsenal. Now Leicester, yes, I still believe most people are like they're not going to do it back to back. I still believe they could probably challenge, but they haven't really been splashing that much cash. They've been buying a lot of younger players like Hernandez, a center back, Spanish center back, coming in pretty young, and I feel like that the BPO is going to bring in more talent for what he already has to the table. He's a great physical defender. He's not afraid to get in there, to get in tackle and just go in rough. He's not afraid to get a yellow card in the game. And then they also brought in a German keeper, Zeller, which I don't think he will be seeing that much playtime. Maybe in Capital One Cup and like off cup games, because Schmeichel is a great keeper for Leicester, and he's been proven to be a great keeper for Leicester. And now moving into Liverpool, they had Matip on a pre-contract, which I believe Matip is a great boost to the Liverpool defense, especially how crap they were. Sorry for my language, how crap they were last season. And so he's going to bring in a lot of pace into the defense. He's going to bring in a lot of physicality to the defense. And just like has been doing in the German league is one of the most physical leagues in the world. And he's over here going to bring in that physicality that the BPO needs from players. And also another signing that Liverpool's made is Sadio Mane, who came from Southampton. Of course, everyone knows him. He broke the record for the fastest goal scored in the BPO. Or fastest hat trick in the BPO, I believe. Yeah, fastest hat trick, I think. And so, I believe he came in £15 million, and so I feel like he's gonna bring in pace. Benteke was kind of slacking off. He might be going to Crystal Palace for $31 million, which I believe that's just too much. But he's gonna bring in a lot of pace and to the attack. Roberto Firmino feeding him in the balls, Coutinho feeding him into the balls, Milner, Henderson. There's a lot of people that can feed him the ball, and he's just gonna be there they're just gonna send him in. He's gonna be there just pacing through. And now you're gonna have these slow defenders like Mertesacker and all that having to catch up with his pace, and that's what he's been doing at Southampton. He was just killing it through. That's what he's known to do. He has that pace, so he will abuse the pace. Now moving into the best team in the world, Manchester City. We've made about 4 signings. Well, really 3, but one person they considered a signing, but really a loan back, which is Moy from the Australian League, Melbourne City. He's about to get loaned back out to Huddersfield, I believe. And now we brought in Gundogan, however you decide to pronounce it, the German midfielder from Borussia Dortmund, who is a complete midfielder. He will get physical, like I've been saying about all these other players. He will go box to box against people. That's what he's been doing in the German league. And he has a shot on him. He will shoot from distance, just like how we had Yaya, who's probably getting old. And he also, Gundogan is young. Even though he has an injury, which they don't believe he's going to come back until late August, early September-ish, around there, which before the Manchester Derby, which is happening on September 13th. But I feel like that Gundogan is going to be a good box-to-box midfielder, just like Xhaka is going to be for Arsenal. And it's going to be a great talent for this slightly old Manchester City attack. Now, another signing we've made is Nolito, the Spanish left midfielder from Celta Vigo. He's had a great Euros. Believe he scored 1 or 2 goals, grabbed a couple assists while he was at it, and he's also basically an upgrade from what we have from Narsri and Jesus Navas, which basically is what we were lacking. We had the pace, but we were lacking what's we're lacking a playmaker. We had De Bruyne, but he's on the right. Sterling kind of still lacking. We saw him in the Euros. He's shit in the Euros. He had a shit season last season, but I feel like he can probably turn it around. But Nolito has scored 14 goals and plenty of assists in La Liga last season, and I feel like that he's gonna bring in that type of mentality Pep wants to have with the tiki taka. Maybe he's gonna bring in. He has a lot of good vision. He has a lot of vision, and he's gonna just bring in those nice passes, move it around, help with Silva, Aguero, De Bruyne. There's gonna nice pass it around with Nolito being that outlet that Joe Hart or maybe Ter Stegen can play it out to, because you need an outlet to go out to. De Bruyne, Nolito, play it into the middle. There's Silva. There's gonna mix it up. There's gonna be a nice, lovely attack from City that we haven't seen from a while, and a lot of City fans have been hoping to see that kind of attack in a while, but now we can finally see it. Now moving on to some potential signings. We've got Laporte, John Stones, and John Brooks being reported to go into City. All three great center backs. My bad. Laporte, however, believed that he does not want to leave Atletico Bilbao. He wants to, or yes, he does not want to leave Atletico Bilbao. We could meet his release clause, but we've chosen not to. And now John Stones is over here saying, I want to go to City, and City can activate the release clause. Everton wants 50 million for him. We will give 50 million. We have the cash. But I believe that if we want a center back that could be a complete center back, not being biased because I'm American, but I feel like we should be able to go after John Brooks. John Stones is a great youth player, helps with the homegrown issue we have about English players. But John Brooks is just a great, sorry about that, I thought someone was at the door. John Brooks is a great, just physical, fast center back that, if you've seen in the Copa America, he has great mentality. He will see everything that goes on. 3-on-1 attack against Peru. He saw what was going on, shut down 3 people by himself. And then if Jeff Cameron, not the whole Copa America, Jeff Cameron had a great Copa America too. But whenever Jeff Cameron messed up, John Brooks is right there to fix the problem. Only time I've seen him mess up was once against Argentina, which he had a bad touch on the ball, which caused the goal. But he had a great Copa America, and I feel like if we could see that John Brooks in the BPL, he's been doing it in the Bundesliga too. If we could see that kind of John Brooks in the BPL, we're going to have a great defense with him, Kompany, Otamendi, and Mangala. If we bring in another center back, Mangala is probably going to go out. But if we see we could see a rotation, a great rotation in the center back. Not a weak one, not where we're going to be like, Kompany's out, oh no, I wonder how Mangala is going to do. We're going to have another center back that comes in like, oh, okay, Kompany's out. We got John Brooks. Don't worry. We got John Brooks, Otamendi in the back. We have fast center backs that could shut down the ball, shut down Zlatan, for crying out loud. So, yeah, I feel like I don't want Laporte, and also he won't even come, but I feel like if anyone, I'll probably pick up John Brooks over John Stones, but I will pick up John Stones due to the homegrown issue we're having with the English players. And now another news that comes in is Mahrez to Arsenal, which I don't think is going to go on. Arsenal already got snubbed by Jamie Vardy, and I feel like Mahrez is just going to snub him again. I feel like they're going to stay at Leicester. They're going to want to play in Champions League with Leicester. I mean, Arsenal's in Champions League too, but they want to see how great they could bring in Leicester, and Leicester bringing all these young players, and from cheap and all that. They're probably going to have a great season this season, and I'm excited. I want Mahrez to stay. I want to see that kind of improvement in the Leicester team. I want to see them become a new Manchester United City. I want to see that team. So I hope Mahrez doesn't leave, but if Mahrez leaves, Arsenal will have what they've been lacking, a right midfielder who will stay healthy, unlike Walcott and Chamberlain, who've been occasionally hurt, but he'll bring in that pace, to bring in that playmaking. He'll bring in a lot of things to supply Giroud, to supply Xhaka, or Xhaka can supply him, or supply Ozil, or Ozil supplies him. He can play the supplier or the poacher. He's not afraid to play anything, and I'm pretty sure Arsene Wenger is gonna do a great job utilizing him. But in my opinion, I want him to stay and show what he could do with Leicester in Champions League football. And now 2 transfer news left. The first one, Conte to Real Madrid. Now experts say stupid idea, which don't get me wrong, Conte is gonna be a world-class midfielder. He's a great midfielder. He helped Leicester City a lot, won a lot of balls, got a lot of interceptions, won a lot of tackles, and even when he had to get up the field, he'll get up the field. But compared to what Real Madrid play and the teams they have, of course Zidane is French. He knows how the Frenchies want to play their soccer and all that. But I feel like the likes of Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, and maybe James might be leaving. If James leaves, I could see a possibility of Conte coming in. But if James doesn't leave, then I could see like a great midfield already at Real Madrid. And so I don't think that they would require Conte to come in. I think it would be a big waste of money. But also another thing, like I said about Mahrez, I want to see Conte stay in Leicester. I want to see that Champions League football he could provide to Leicester. I want to see Leicester's success in the Champions League, and I want these players to stay and bring in more players. It's just the same thing as Mahrez. I want to see that, but just like Mahrez, like I said, Conte could prove a lot to Real Madrid. He can win those balls against the attacks of Messi, Suarez, Neymar, and all that. Against all these new players, Nani and all that coming into La Liga. I can see that he can win. He can win those midfield balls, but I want to see him still stay in the BPL. Play for Leicester, compete in Champions League football. I want to see that. Last news is Juan Mata moving to Everton, which is a shocker to most, not really to that many other people. But Juan Mata started off his BPL train at Chelsea, played under Mourinho, played under Hiding and all that. Or I don't think he played under Hiding, but I know he played under Mourinho. But then got transferred out from Mourinho. Then Mourinho didn't think he needed that much time and all that, and so he moved to Manchester United, which he had a decent season, believe, and then a shit season. Sorry, my language. So basically, now that Mourinho's coming to United, I think Mourinho's going to want to sell Mata again, because I don't think Mata's going to fit Mourinho's play style and all that. So I feel like a move to Everton would be fit to Mata, which is kind of awkward move, because I don't see how Mata would fit into the Everton attack. But I want to see what happens. I feel like it'll be a great transfer. So yeah, that's this week in transfer news, and now a lot of big stuff. We got Ibra, Xhaka, Matip, Mane, Gundogan, Nolito, and all that. Sorry, I keep on looking this direction. I have my whiteboard of ideas and all that. Everything I wanted to talk about. Sorry about that. If you keep on seeing me going this way, that means I'm looking on to these other ideas and all that. And if you see me looking this way, I'm looking at the Euro game, Portugal, Wales. But anyways, gotta stop being weird. So yeah, that's today's episode of the A&A show, or just the A show for right now. But yes, we'll come back to you next week, and I'll have more transfer rumors, most likely more transfer rumors than signings, but transfer rumors, signings, and all that. And until then, stay safe, have fun, enjoy the Euros while it's staying, and just stick with us. Thank you.